Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Mel yet again with a new video. Today I filmed this sort of smoky, but also a little warm tone green halo look. I only showed you guys the top lid in the tutorial because after I did my foundation, it looked really cakey because my dog ate my sponge yesterday. Really quick, on my lower lid, I'm just wearing the orange shadow and the green shadow, if you're curious. The green shadow acts as liner. Here, I'm just priming my eyes. With my concealer, I'm bringing it all the way up to the brow bone and blending it out. Next, I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to line that up with the outer corner of my eye as well as the end of my brow. I like getting a sharp line from this. It makes everything a lot less stressful for me, especially my wing liner. So first, I'm taking a white sort of bone-colored eyeshadow and setting all of my concealer that's on my lid. I'm taking it on this flat brush. It's not very dense though, so it's not going to really pack the pigment on too heavily. And just taking that all over wherever I applied that concealer. Next, I'm taking this Colourpop Supershock shadow in Elixir. It's sort of this mid-tone terracotta. And I'm using this as my transition shade. I'm just going to be putting it on the inner and outer corners. And on my outer corner, I wing it out a little bit towards my eyebrow, as you'll see in a minute. Next, I'm taking another Super Shock shadow. This one is in the shade Melrose. It's this sort of rusty orangey brown. It's a little bit darker than the shade I just used, so I'm putting it a little bit lower and a little bit closer to the center of my eye while still leaving a space in the center open. I did not like the control I had with the brush, so I decided to take it on my finger, but I'm making sure to have a very light hand with this while I do it. This I find just gives me more control. If you guys would like to see a video about how I use my Super Shock shadows, especially the mattes, leave a comment down below. I've definitely figured out a few tips and tricks and all that sort of jazz. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. Again, just putting it on the inner and outer corners and trying to wing it out just a tiny bit. The winged out bit helps elongate your eye, if you were curious. Now I'm taking the star of the show. This is Colourpop's Press Shadow in Team Captain. I'm taking the same flat brush as I used to set my eyes. Again, it's not very dense though, so it's not really gonna just make a huge splotch of green on a certain spot. It'll still be able to be blended. So again, on the outer corner, even closer in, and inner corner. I'm trying not to take this into my crease because it wouldn't be as much of a halo effect as I would want, and I'll blend the warm tones and this sort of cool tone green together later on with a gray shadow, and it'll make everything a little bit more cohesive. Taking this fluffy brush, wiping off the product, and I'm just going to blend everything together. After I do this, I'm just going to deposit some more green, blend it out, more green, blend it out, etc., etc. I feel like that definitely gives the most blended and more beautiful effect, if you will, if you don't mind me calling my eyeshadow that. If I don't sound too arrogant. I got it a little bit in my crease there, but I just rolled with it. So again, blending it out, there's nothing on this brush. I just want everything to look really blown out and blended. I'm just using some windshield wiper motions. And again, I dragged it out a little bit towards my eyebrow. Now I'm taking this grayish taupe shade, and I'm going to put that in the crease in between the warm shades and the green. It'll just blend them together really nicely and make the two color families come together better. And again, you want to get this as much on the outer corner as you do on the inner corner. I'm about to add more to the inner corner. As you'll see, bam. This shade definitely makes the look much more smoky. You could take that or leave that. You could also use a brown, a cool tone brown instead of this gray. I think that would look really nice and would blend the colors really well. Here I'm just putting down some more green because we lost a little bit of that impact after we added the gray. So again, like I said earlier, building, blending, building, blending. I know it's tedious, but it's worth it. And this brush has no new product on it right here. It's just using what was left from the gray earlier and winging it out a little bit. Now I'm taking our pop of shimmer in the center of our eyelid, which is this color called Sideline by Colourpop. It's really interesting duochrome green. It kind of has a purple eggplantish base with some green shimmer, as well as some I don't know, gold undertones, but it's like a green gold. It's really cool. I started off with this dense, flat packer brush, but I wasn't really happy with the payoff. It probably would have been better if I had some Fix Plus or water or something, but I didn't because I was outside, so I just decided to go in with my pinky, as you see here, and I got much more color payoff. Now, I'm just going to go in with what green is left on that brush. I didn't add any more to sort of blend the green and the shimmer in the center together. And again, building, blending, and going back and forth between the colors over and over and over again. And just running over everything one last time with that brush. Now I'm taking that bone color that I used in the beginning to set my eye. I'm taking it on a rather small brush. I'm just going to run it under my eyebrow. I did this because I have relatively, not small eyes, but I don't have a lot of space between my crease and my brow. So by the time I'm done blending, it's always all the way up to my eyebrow. So I wanted to create a little bit more space. Now, I ran out of liner as I was filming this, but I didn't want to compromise the video, so I'm just taking this angled liner brush and one of my mascaras. This is the Pacifica Dream Big Mascara, and this is a brush from e.l.f. I'm just coating the brush in the mascara, and I'm going to use this as my liner. It is not the best application ever. I promise you that this is not what my eyeliner typically looks like, but it was going to work for this video. So I'm just making a little line coming out from the outside corner of my eye along the edge of the tape, and I'm going back about halfway through that line and connecting it back to my lid to make the triangle wing shape. It's really important that you don't start dragging it back while you're still at the very tip of that line, because that'll make the edge sort of dull and not as sharp as you want it to be. Now I'm going to take my 3 mascaras. I know that's rather excessive, but whatever. I don't really have a eyelash curler, so these help in absence of that. The first is just a lash primer, actually. This is from L'Oreal. It comes with a mascara too, but I'm not a big fan of that, so I just use a primer. And I'm just going to coat my lashes with this. This makes my lashes thicker and longer. Here I'm taking my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I like to put this in the middle of my mascara routine because I find if I don't, it smudges really easily. But it does give me more thickness in my lashes, so I do like to include it. Now for the final mascara, I'm taking my Pacifica Dream Big Mascara. This is really cool because you can adjust the wand. I like to keep it at its longest, which gives me the most length in my lashes, purely because I have the primer and the Better Than Sex to give me some more thickness, so I like this for length. I'm just coating my lashes yet again. In a minute, I'll go off camera. I did everything else off camera. I was going to film my under eyes on camera, but then my foundation turned out super cakey, so I decided against it. But this is the final look.